joking, I know it's gonna work. All right, next up is the cover. There's a lip right here. Hello, my Rover friends, and welcome back to Project Miles. This is the episode that we are going to do our first bit of work to the vehicle. What's that? Fix a coolant leak? No, we're not doing that. Suspension? Nah, we're not doing that. New tires? Nah, we're not doing that. Did you say put a roof light LED kit on? Well, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Cue the intro. Okay guys, all jokes aside, we've got our new roof pods in and we needed to do an install video for it. So Project Miles was in the shop and well, here we are. And in the end, when we're all done with this car, it's gonna look fantastic with the 4-pod roof lights on it. It's gonna be very similar setup to our normal roof pod installs. We've got give me one second. We've got a base that sits like so. The roof pod bolts to the base, the lights bolt to this, we run the wiring harness down the pillar, and then we use a remote to turn them on and off. Unless you're gonna go deeper into off-road lighting, then I'd recommend the Garmin switch. Okay, a lot of talking, but let's get back on track. First thing we need to do to get this installed is clean the roof, clean our little base here. We're gonna use isopropyl, I can still never say that, isopropyl alcohol, and I mean clean, clean, clean. If you think you've cleaned it enough, clean it one more time, and also clean this plastic before we put the double face sticky tape on it, because the plastic gets dirty and oily, and then the tape falls off. You're driving down the thruway, and ooh, shush, and then you end up losing your roof pod. So I'm gonna get cleaning. I'll meet you back here when we put the tape on, and we'll get this on the roof. Now that the roof is clean, I'm gonna let that dry off, and it is time to prepare the base. We are going to clean the bottom of this, but I'm gonna do the lights first. We're gonna get all the lights installed and the wiring harness in place. Then we can flip it over and clean the bottom and put our sticky tape on. So let's dive into the lights. All right, the lights are pretty straightforward. There's these tabs across the pod base, and we're gonna use these Phillips screws. Kind of go through the tab like so, align it to the light. Screw them in. That easy. I'm gonna hyperspeed the rest of this and I'll get all 4 lights in place. Now that we have everything wired in place and bolted up, I'm gonna put power to it. We're gonna double check all of our lights before we put them on the roof. What's that? Why aren't I using the battery on the car? Well, because it's dead, of course. Would have been smarter of me to do this so I could see them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, we know that the lights work. I'm going to tape these little wiring harness connections down so they don't rattle on the roof. And then we'll clean it on the other side. Hot damn, it's almost time to get it on the roof. That we have our VHB, very high bond tape. If you need more or you want to go really fill everything in, that's what it is. We use 3M very high bond tape. You can get it pretty much anywhere. Now it's time to position the light pod on the roof. What I like to do is get my painter's tape, put some here and here. That way we can put it on the roof, stick it, get some measurements, make sure it is exactly where we need it to be. Then I'm going to use my painter's tape to put a mark on both sides. That way, when I take the tape off and I go to set it, I know I'm going in the right spot. Okay, let's get this on the roof. Let's see how close I got. At the top to my little seam here in the roof, I am 1.25 inches. On the bottom, 1.5 inches. Let's try the other side. Oh, I'm not even close. At the bottom, ooh, 2.5 and 2.25. So I need to come this way about 1 inch. Inch and 7/8. Now that I have it centered, I'm gonna mark it with my little blue tape. Okay, moment of truth time. I'm going to peel the other side of the sticky tape off and go up there and put it in place. I really didn't think this through. It's late here and there's nobody else left in the shop, so I'm going to struggle. If you're doing this by yourself, put the lights on the roof. That way the little base plate's easier to handle, but I think I got it. I'm not afraid. Okay, my friends, we are so close. Next up, it's these little, I don't know what they're called. Somebody tell me what these are called. They're basically welded nuts to a little clip so that you put the clip on the plastic and then the nut stays still. A retaining nut. Sounds like it, but I don't think that's what they're called. Anyways, these little nut clips, retaining nut jobbies, go up on the base, and then we use these stainless screws. You're going on the roof whether you like it or not. And then they kind of hold down the light pod in the back. The front scoops and grabs it. I'm gonna put the clips in. I'll bring the camera up, let you guys see it. Then we're gonna put this on and job is almost done. There's the clips, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they just essentially, you kind of give them a little pinch if yours is loose, and you slide it in place like so. The bolt that we're gonna hold on there, the bolt that we're gonna use goes through the top like that, and then tightens down the roof pod. All right, next up is the cover. There's a lip right here. Can you see it? Now you can if I don't block it. There's a lip right here. We want to make sure that this lip is on the outside of it, like so. Perfect. I'm going to make sure the other side's good. Put the screws in the top, and then we're going to work the cable down the pillar. Right, looking good. When it's attached, you can see the whole car shaking, right? You want to make sure that you have that 3M tape on there really good. Think of all the wind force that's going to be coming through here. That's not going anywhere. Now let's go over there and run the wire. Okay, the goal is to take the wire out of the front. There's a little notch inside the base plate and bring it over to the A-pillar here. Get my plastic trim tool and we're going to gently pop off the A-pillar. These things are known to go flying, so if yours is in rough shape, we have a kit with new clips to help you get it reattached. If yours is pretty friendly like this one, you'll be able to slide under. You gotta pop the hood to get the bottom out. Here's those clips I was telling you about. They tend to explode, but we've got new ones, and the whole new kit is really, with all the ones that you need, super cheap. All right, I'm gonna lay the wiring harness right here and tuck it along the windshield, like so. You know, I'm gonna get a little Gorilla Tape. I'm gonna hold it there. And then I'm gonna put my pillar back on. We're almost there, guys. This job is damn near done. Now that we got some Gorilla Tape holding it in place, I can gently open the hood. Slide our pillar piece down. You know what, guys? I'm gonna have to stick the bottom in because it's gonna snap the pillar if I don't. You'll have to use your imagination. All right, now that it's in place, we can clip everything back in. Perfect. Let's move on to the engine bay and get this wired up. With the wire poking out of the bottom of that pillar trim piece, we're gonna pull the rubber liner out of the way, route it underneath the cowl. If you need a new cowl, it's a good time to change it. Bring it under the engine seal. Put this all back together. Now we've got it right here next to the fuse box. Let's test it again just because it's fun. Yay. All right, we're gonna hook up the remote controller and the little relay block. Here is what the relay block looks like. It says DC in, DC out. So we're using the other wiring harness with the little battery leads on it. We're gonna connect those to DC in. Negative is black, positive is red. Next up, we want to get the leads going off to the roof light. We're going to put that on output, red being positive, black being negative. When it's all done, yours should look something similar to this. Next up, we got to find a place to mount the relay box. I'm going to get some leftover double-sided sticky tape and stick it right in here, actually facing down against the battery box. But that's what's convenient about this. If you've got something else going on, you can pretty much stick it anywhere you like. And then when that's done, all we have to do is connect the negative and power leads to the battery. I'm gonna get all that done, bring the camera in, and we'll be ready to fire this up. Let's have a look at the wiring. Power to the power side, the positive side of the battery, negative to the negative, and in there you can see the little antenna. That's where we put the remote box. All right, here we have it, the moment of truth. Did I do everything right? Our trusty, dusty remote. I'm just joking, I know it's gonna work. Excellent. All right, folks, I hope it was super helpful, and be sure to follow for more Rover content.